James Wiseman is considered the #1 player in high school basketball, and he has the potential to be the top pick in next year's NBA draft. His natural physical tools and athleticism is what makes him such a highly touted recruit. 7'1" with a 7'6" wingspan, runs the floor effortlessly, and he's an above average athlete for someone his size. Now there's plenty of room for improvement in his game, and I'll get into all that later in the video, but if James can improve on these weaknesses, then we're looking at a scary talent at the center position. Let's analyze his game in this breakdown. James is a tall, extremely long player that's established himself as one of the best shot blockers in the country. His wingspan makes it very difficult for anyone to get up a quality shot in the paint, and not only is he great at blocking shots in the paint, he's also shown solid instincts and anticipation when blocking jump shooters. Since he's so much bigger than his high school peers, it can be easy to downplay his shot blocking ability, but it's clear that James has natural defensive instincts that will most definitely transfer to the next level. I'm also impressed at the way James contests shots without fouling. It's real easy for a big man his size to get in foul trouble, but James is pretty consistent at just keeping his hands straight up in certain situations, knowing that his length will make it hard for the offensive player to get a good look at the rim. Offensively, James doesn't have many moves on the block, but he still does a solid job at finishing down low. He really favors his left hand when his back is to the basket. 9 times out of 10 he'll do a quick move going left into a jump hook or a floater. He has good hands when catching the ball, doesn't bobble it too much. You can basically just throw it up anywhere near the rim and James will go get it. In transition, James is very mobile. He moves well for someone his size, using long strides to gallop up the floor. And while this isn't necessarily a strength yet, James has shown the ability to knock down mid-range shots. He really needs to work on his consistency from out there, but it's still promising to see a 7-footer knock down jumpers. With his height, length, and athleticism, James will get tons of boards his freshman year at Memphis. I feel like if he was more aggressive as a player, he could get way more boards than he does now, but nonetheless, he's still a very tough player to keep off the glass. His effort is there for the most part, and when he's locked in, James is an elite rebounder. James really needs to improve his feel for the game on offense. He dominates at the high school level with his physical tools, but his skill set down low and in the high post is pretty mediocre. He's very predictable when he gets the ball on the block. He'll mainly attack left regardless of how he's being played by the defense. While his fluidity for his size is impressive, he's still not very coordinated when he puts the ball on the floor. There are times where he just looks really awkward and off balance when trying to make a move. This is partly because he's not a physical big man. When he's up against someone his size, which is rare at the high school level, or someone who likes to play physical, it's very easy to knock him off course. There's also been questions about his motor, that he seems to just go through the motions sometimes. Based on the film that I watched, I noticed that a few times, but not enough to make a big deal of it. And lastly, James does show potential to be a solid shooter one day, but he still has a lot of work to do in this department. Decision making on jump shots really needs to improve, and I respect the fact that he's confident shooting threes, but he's not quite there yet as far as being a reliable threat from the perimeter. Well, here's my verdict. James Wiseman is a physical specimen that has the ideal body for an NBA big man. His combination of height, length, and athleticism automatically makes him a lottery pick talent, but he still has a long way to go as a player to reach his full potential. The biggest thing for James is developing more moves and improving his footwork on the block. He's very predictable as a big man currently, relying more on his physical tools to dominate the high school game. Improving his jump shooting and learning how to be more aggressive will take his game to the next level as well. But I think it's a no-brainer that James will be a one-and-done player. Even if his freshman year doesn't live up to the hype, it'll be hard to imagine him slipping out the top 10. His upside is way too high for multiple teams to pass on. Hopefully James continues to improve so he can exceed the high expectations set on him.